All right, today we're diving into a really interesting text by Athanasios Triantafiliou. It draws this incredible connection between the martial art of Aikido and a life philosophy he calls Pantopia. It's all about finding a more natural, flowing way to live in a world that can feel pretty rigid. So let's get right into it.
The author kicks things off with this zinger of a quote. And what he's getting at is this: our own minds, as brilliant as they are, have kind of become a trap. By creating all these rigid systems and definitions, we've accidentally convinced ourselves that some things are just impossible. We've cut ourselves off from a more spontaneous, natural way of being.
So that really sets the stage for the core problem this whole philosophy is trying to solve. We're stuck in what the author calls a linear life, where our brain is running the show, totally disconnected from our body and our intuition. And the result? We lose that sense of spontaneity, that easy well-being.
And this slide really gets to the heart of the solution. It's about a massive shift in perspective. We're asked to move away from what he calls the 4D planet, this kind of mechanical A to B, speed is everything worldview, and instead step into the 5F star. This is a world that runs on cycles, rhythms, and spirals. It's a place where your own awareness actually helps shape your reality. It's a completely different game. So, where does this new perspective lead us? Well, it leads us to the world of Pantopia. Now, this isn't some magical land you have to find a map to. It's more like a framework for living, a way of reconnecting with who you really are. And guess what? It's right here, right now. It's everywhere.
I love how the text breaks this down. It makes this big idea feel so simple. So, what is Pantopia? It's you, your true self. And where is it? Like we said, it's everywhere. How do you find it? Not by trying harder, but through spontaneity, through direct, unfiltered experience. When does it happen? When you're ready. And the best part? Why? Because it is. It's just your natural state. It's less about chasing something new and more about letting what's already inside you come to the surface.
Okay, so that sounds great, but how do we actually do it? The text lays out a map, and it's built around 5 freedoms. And this is super important. These aren't steps you climb one by one like a ladder. Think of it more like a rhythm, a cycle you're always moving through on this journey back to yourself.
All right, so here they are: energy, existence, mobility, learning, and expression. You can see how they feed into each other. Energy fuels our existence, which gives us the stability to move and explore, which leads to learning, and all that learning blossoms into free expression, which, you guessed it, creates more energy. It's this beautiful, self-powering loop. Let's take a quick look at each one.
First up, we have energy freedom. This is the bedrock. It's that vital life force. You might have heard it called ki, or prana, or chi. It's the juice that animates everything. And in Aikido, this is literally ki, the universal energy that you learn to feel and channel. Everything starts here. All that energy creates a foundation for existence freedom. This is that grounded, stable feeling of just being. The simple joy of, I am here. In Aikido, this is all about finding your physical and mental center. It's your source of stability, your anchor. And that's key, right? You can't really move freely if you don't have a strong center to move from.
Once you're stable, you get the itch to move. That's mobility freedom. It's our natural curiosity, that innate drive to explore the world. This lines up so perfectly with Aikido, where core movements like irimi, which means entering, and tenkan, which is turning, are the physical embodiment of engaging with the world in a dynamic, responsive way.
And of course, when you're out there exploring and engaging with the world, what happens? You learn. That's learning freedom. This is where that exploration turns into actual knowledge, into real ability. In Aikido, this is the daily practice of waza, the specific techniques. They're not just random moves. They're like physical sentences that teach you the core principles of the art. Finally, the whole cycle builds to this beautiful peak, expression freedom. This is where it all comes together. It's when you know something so well, you don't even have to think about it anymore. It just flows. It's pure creativity. The Aikido parallel here is jiu-waza, or freestyle practice. It's where you stop doing techniques, and the techniques just happen through you.
Okay, so now let's tie this all together, because here's the kicker. Aikido isn't just a nice metaphor for this philosophy. The author argues it's the actual practice. It's a grammar for life that lets you physically experience these ideas and make them real.
And the core idea here is something called a recursive grammar. Now that might sound complicated, but think about learning a language. The more you use it, the more you just get the rules, right? The practice reinforces the knowledge, which in turn improves the practice. Aikido works the exact same way. By physically practicing harmony, you learn to turn disruptive energy into flow, which then deepens your gut-level understanding of harmony itself. It's a feedback loop.
So what does this grammar look like on the mat? Well, first you have direct contact, the dialogue with your partner. Then there's ukemi, the art of falling. This is huge. It's about learning how to take a hit, how to absorb disruptive energy and turn it into safe, flowing movement. It's about resilience. And finally, you have the techniques themselves, the vocabulary you use to create harmony out of conflict.
So when you put these two things together, the mindset of Pantopia and the physical practice of Aikido, something really special starts to happen. You get this incredible synergy between your mind and your body, and you start to tap into what the author calls a cosmic flow. And you can see that synergy right here. On the Pantopia side, you get things like spontaneity, playfulness, moving beyond rigid forms. And on the Aikido side, you learn to overcome conflict, you build flexibility on top of a stable core, and again, you're transcending form. See how they mirror each other? They're two paths leading to the exact same mountaintop.
And in the end, maybe it all boils down to this one simple, ancient idea, Pantopian. Everything flows. The goal isn't to reach some final, static, perfect destination. It's about learning to dance with the constant movement and change of life itself. It's about finding your harmony within that flow.
So we've looked at the philosophy of Pantopia as a map and Aikido as one way to walk the path. But it leaves us with a really important question, and this one's for you. Forget about Aikido for a second. Where do you find that feeling? In your own life, what are the moments where you stop thinking, stop trying so hard, and just flow?